Some of the smartest people you know will never get ahead. Not because they lack intelligence, not because they lack discipline, and not because they aren't trying. Meanwhile, other people seem to rise almost effortlessly. They aren't visibly smarter, they aren't working longer hours, and they rarely explain how it's happening. This isn't luck, and it isn't talent in the way we're taught to think about it. It's psychology, shaped by incentives, positioning, and feedback loops most people never notice. People who consistently get ahead don't see the world the same way others do. Not morally, structurally. They don't ask, how hard should I work? They ask, what does this system reward? That single shift changes everything. Most people are taught that effort is the input and success is the output. That if you do the right things long enough, the results will follow. But real systems don't work that way. They reward visibility over quality, leverage over effort, timing over preparation, and signaling over substance. People who get ahead internalize this early, often without realizing it. They pay close attention to what moves outcomes, not what sounds admirable. They notice which behaviors get promoted, not which ones get praised. They notice which skills scale, not which ones feel meaningful. They notice where decisions are made, not where work is done. Most people confuse competence with advancement. They believe being reliable will be rewarded, that being agreeable will be noticed, that being indispensable will make them secure. In reality, these traits often do the opposite. Reliability makes you useful, not promotable. Agreeableness makes you manageable, not influential. Indispensability makes you hard to replace, and therefore hard to move. People who get ahead don't optimize for being needed. They optimize for being difficult to ignore. They understand that systems don't elevate the best contributor. They elevate the clearest signal. That's why some people talk more than they work and still advance. Why others switch roles before they've mastered them. Why some leave environments just as they become comfortable. It looks reckless from the outside, but it's often calculated. Another difference is how feedback is interpreted. Most people treat feedback as a verdict on their ability. People who get ahead treat it as information about the system. If something fails, they don't immediately ask, what did I do wrong? They ask, what does this environment actually value? And if the answer doesn't align with where they want to go, they don't try harder. They reposition. This is why smart people often get stuck. Intelligence makes you good at solving the problem in front of you. But advancement depends on choosing the right problem to solve. Smart people tend to overcommit to fairness. They assume effort will be recognized. They assume merit will surface. They assume someone is paying attention. People who get ahead don't make those assumptions. They assume incentives are misaligned. They assume recognition is uneven. They assume outcomes are shaped upstream. So they move upstream, they place themselves closer to decisions, closer to leverage, closer to visibility. Not because they're cynical, but because they're realistic. This doesn't mean they never work hard. It means they're selective about where effort goes. They understand that most environments quietly punish excess loyalty. That patience is often indistinguishable from stagnation, and that waiting to be discovered is usually a losing strategy. To outsiders, this can look like arrogance, or opportunism, or entitlement. But in most cases, it's simply learned behavior. People who get ahead have been rewarded for noticing patterns, not for obeying rules. The uncomfortable truth is that advancement is rarely about deserving more. It's about being positioned where more is available. And psychology determines whether you ever notice that difference. Most people are trained to endure systems. Some people learn to read them. That gap, not intelligence, is what separates those who always get ahead from those who never seem to move.